Gentlemen, boys and girls, although a vast majority of my audience is in fact male, I'd like to welcome you back to, well, another installment of whatever the fuck it is that I call this shit. It's been a hot minute, and I apologize for that. I've suffered a series of unfortunate events here within the last, month or so, but I'm trying not to let that get me down, although I am just fucking struggling. Sometimes you're feeling it, and sometimes you ain't. Let me get my fat ass up off this goddamn crate and show you what the fuck's going on. So, a little bit ago, had a little bit of a ordeal with the old diesel-powered shaggin' and baggin' wagon. This here is an International Navistar 7.3 liter indirect injected non-turbo diesel engine. And don't get me wrong, she's a good girl. She always fucking starts, but lately I've been having some fucking problems with her, particularly in the fuel system. And before I go any further, no, I am not gonna list off a fucking sponsor. I'm not a faggot like that. But I'm gonna warn you, this is not gonna be like an informative video whatsoever. It's just me rambling to myself. You know how it goes. You get stuck in the fucking doldrums every once in a while, and you gotta make a video. Get yourself out of that fucking hole, and let people know what the fuck's going on, I guess. I know there's only like, a handful of you motherfuckers out there that actually give a shit about anything that I have to say or think or do, but, for those of you who are out there, I do fucking appreciate you. It's just, I've been struggling lately, I ain't gonna lie. What was it, I don't know, a couple of weeks I've just been struggling. Had a massive fucking kidney stone, and I had to get endoscopic surgery done on my ureter because it was just fucked. So allow me to give you an example of like what some of the fucking bullshit that I had to go through the last few days or so. So I had a fucking 6 or 7 millimeter diameter. Of course the diameter is estimated because of it's not like they can go in there with a fucking ruler and a micrometer and check the size. Somewhere between 6 and 7 millimeters. And I was fucking struggling the whole entire time. So they put me on a whole cocktail of pain meds, which just absolutely fucked me over for a solid 2 weeks. Even with the pain meds, I was still struggling. And a few days later, I finally got a surgery appointment scheduled up and fucking went in for the surgery. They probed around, broke the stone up with a laser, like an actual laser, and then I spent the whole next 4 days in recovery, which was just fucking miserable. Like, I got this funnel here to explain what I had to go through. So pretend this here funnel is the old male bits, the pecker, right? And this is your pee hole right here. And this is just, imagine this fucking conical deal here as being the shaft end of the whole waterworks. So what they did was they had to put a stent from my ureter, which is the tube that goes from kidney to bladder. They had to put a stent midway up that down into my bladder, and they tied suture material onto the end of that stent, and that suture material came out through the pee hole, the urethra, out of my pee hole, and then they took a bunch of it and wrapped it around my shaft and then taped that to my fucking foreskin. I had to have that for 4 solid days, and afterwards, the reason they had to have the fucking suture material, it's basically fishing line except medical purposes. The reason that's there is so that you can pull, well, I pulled the fucking stent out after a period of approved time, which was, I believe, 4 days. And those 4 days just fucking wrecked my shit. So, yeah, that was fun. The whole time I had that stent in, I was just pissing blood and basically pieces of leftover kidney stone, which amount to grains of sand, which if you've never, fucking know with the kidney stone, I envy you. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a fucking fun time. I've had a few of these in the past, and despite a change in diet and an exercise routine, and basically done drinking caffeine, I fucking still have to deal with that, deal with all of those, and yeah, it fucking sucks. Oh, and as a side note, while I had that suture material fucking wrapped around my cock the whole entire time, you cannot, you have to try, you have to actually try to not get a boner the whole entire time. I mean, you're on painkillers, and the pain in your abdomen is intense, but still, if you wake up with morning wood, you know what I'm talking about. So what would happen is your cock swells and expands outward as it naturally does, and it would fucking pull on the suture material, and pull on one side of your pee hole. Yeah, it was a fucking party. Now, before that whole fucking ordeal, what with my pee system occurred, had a little bit of an issue with the old fucking 7 tree. So basically what happened is, a week before my stone manifested, I was out driving one day, and this thing is just, she's a great truck. I love this truck. I love OBS Fords. But I was going through a local town, and the 7.3 sputtered to a halt. I mean, completely shut off. And this is an automagical transmission. It's not a manual, so it didn't stall. That means only one thing, and one thing only, which is this guy right here ain't getting no fuel. Now, I know a lot of motherfuckers out there hate on Ford, and they hate on the 7.3 because, well, let's face it, it's a kind of a boat anchor of an engine. It does this really cool magic trick where it takes diesel fuel and turns it into a lack of horsepower, unless you got a turbo kit on it, which I don't, because I don't want to fuck with turbos. I just like it stock. Anyway, although people do rail on these engines a whole fuckload, these engines are very, very simple. I love these engines. If it doesn't run, you have 2 problems. You have bad compression, or you're just not getting fuel. So that leads us into today's content, and I gotta basically take mental note of everything that's going on today. So I got to digging around into the whole fuel system of this truck, and initially I thought it was the lift pump, which fucking tripping all over everything. This garage is just a fucking disaster, I tell you. Just grease and just shit fucking everywhere. So this truck has a lift pump right... Oh, fuck, you can't see this worth shit. It's that guy right there with the couple of fucking hoses coming off of her. All the way down underneath the alternator bracket. And I thought that was my issue at first because, you know, it's a common thing for those to go out after a certain elapsed period of time. This thing's creeping up on 250,000 on the clock. Miles, not fucking metric units. So yeah, she's getting up there in years, but she's fucking cherry. I love this truck. Just mint. Except for that right there. That was a fucking tree. Google derecho, and yeah, that's what happened there. It had a fucking 8-inch diameter oak tree branch fucking land on this. Like, look at this. No, that's dirt, but like, look at like the rest of this. Just a fucking mint 93 bed. Mint 93 bed. Midwestern 93 bed. That says a lot. And then that fucking happened. So, anyway, on with the video. I know, I'm fucking rambling. I'm sorry. You know, it's just I don't have a solid train of thought right now. I'm fucked up on painkillers and I'm tired and I want to get shit done. Yeah, so on the OBS Fords, which this being a 93 is part of the OBS range, they have on the front and the rear tank you have a pickup screen from the fuel sending unit. And obviously this being a diesel, it doesn't have a fuel pump inside the tank, so it relies on that lift pump. And because it relies on that lift pump to pump fuel from the ass end to the business end, I thought that was my problem, but it turns out that it's a very common problem with the OBS trucks to break off this guy right here. This is the pickup screen, and as you can see right there, or maybe may not be able to see, yeah, she busted off. So it wasn't until I actually dropped the tank and removed the fuel sending unit, because I planned on replacing the fuel sending units anyway. They're getting up there in years and they're getting a little bit fucky. It wasn't until I popped that out that I noticed that, well, there's usually that pickup screen on there, and that was suspiciously absent. And I found that guy right there just dangling down at the bottom of the fucking tank. And so basically this guy was sucking air at a quarter tank, which is a very common problem with these fuel sending units. So yeah, that was a thing that happened, and now I gotta replace on the fuel sending unit the pickup screen, because those are sold separately for some fucking reason. And I also got the tank's getting a little bit crusty. It's got some pinholes on the bottom. They're not bad to where, you know, it's causing a dripping leak, but you can see it's wet on the bottom in certain spots, which means it's on its way out. The front tank is doing the same thing, except slightly worse. So that's where I'm at right now. So now we're under the ass end of this girl, where drivetrain components. So this is the front fuel tank. I have the skid plate removed. So a few problems that I need to get taken care of. The rear diff cover is, she's got a little bit of a leak going on. Yeah, that's definitely gear oil. So I gotta get that taken care of. I thought it was the pinion seal, which would be a pain in the dick. It's this guy right here. Oh, that would be fucking painful if I had to change that. But luckily, I think it's just the diff cover on the back of the axle. So that needs to get taken care of. So let me get you up in here. This is another thing that I gotta deal with is the Christ fucking lighting. Apologize, shit. We got the supply and return. I don't know which one is supply and return for the fuel tank. These are the fuel lines, but these need changing on quite bad. These are just completely fucked, rusted straight through. They both have a pinhole in them somewhere. I don't know exactly where because they're so rusted, but the brake line's actually pretty fucking good. So I'm happy about that. But the fuel lines, it used to be the top line what had a pinhole in it, and it would just drain whenever you shut the engine off. But later on, the bottom line also developed a pinhole and started leaking like a fucking sieve. And since old fucking geriatric fucking dementia riddled fucking pedophile president we got jacking up goddamn gas prices, diesel being over $3 a fucking gallon, I can't ignore that anymore, so I gotta get these, shut off. Plus I don't want to, be leaking fuel all over people's properties whenever I park this fucking land yacht on their property. I just don't want to do that, common courtesy thing. I think that's pretty much it. And like I said, the front fuel tank is going to need replacing on. I know you can't see it too terribly well because I'm working with what I got right now. But this is slightly damp with fuel. And that's also where the rear strap goes onto the tank. It's also quite wet. The front end of the fuel lines, which are these two guys right here, these are actually in really good shape, and I don't think I'm gonna fuck with them. Obviously, I'm gonna probably almost certainly replace on the rubber lines. I don't know if I don't know what vintage those are. Let's see here. So this is your Selectro valve that switches your tanks. This is still in good shape. This is working fine, so I don't want to fuck with that. So basically anything from the selector valve all the way forward, I don't want to mess with. As far as I know, the lift pump or the fuel pump attached to the engine is still in good shape to my knowledge. But I'm contemplating replacing it since I also don't know what vintage it is, and it's caked in grease, so being a 7.3, I don't know if being caked in oil and grease means it's old or it's new, so Christ, I'm just not looking forward to this. I'm in a lot of pain, painkillers, more like motivation killers. So I think my course of action right now is going to be to get the straps off, drop the front tank, get the fuel lines off. I still got to figure out which ones return and which ones supply. So that's going to be an adventure. And well, I'll report back to you once I figure that out. I'm not going to take you along for this journey. It's just going to be fucking pain. See you whenever I do the next time. Well, guys and gals, wait for it, a little motivation. Yeah, there she goes. Well, she's fucked right good and proper now. Loosened up the strap on the front tank, and now she's just dribbling. Well, ain't nothing I can do now but hurry up and wait. Fuck me. I might just pop a hole with a drill bit right in there, quick, fast. Oh god, it's just fucking. If we can accelerate this process a little bit. Yeah, she's fucked. So I don't think I'm gonna fuck it any worse than it already is. Hate to waste diesel fuel though. God damn it. Well, hey fuckholes. It's been a hot minute. Oh! Spent a week recovering from this stupid bullshit. I don't remember exactly where I was when I left off, but I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I was. So, the front tank, she was a little bit, you know, she was a little bit shot up under there. And I loosened the back tank strap, and she just fucking started dribbling all over the place, all over my fucking tools. That's just dandy. So, I think the course of action I'm going to take here, I'm going to get a jack up under here, get the strap over here to fuck off, get the front one, and remove the supply and return lines. I'm thinking I'm just going to cut them off. I'm going to mark it where the rubber connects to the steel lines and just cut them. That way I don't have to fiddle fuck with the fittings and such. I'm going to drop her. And hopefully I don't fucking die in the process. Let's find out. So, yeah. And you know shit's getting pretty fucking serious because I got the brand new fucking coveys going on. This is the Dickies something or other. Like 35 bucks. They're comfortable as fuck and they fit really good on me. And I don't have to worry about, you know, fucking getting diesel fuel shit all over my fucking pants and such and so forth, and you know, laying around getting fucking shit all up in my ass crack because I'm wearing pants with a belt and my fucking shirt's all tucking up and shit. Won't have to deal with that. And they're really light and super fucking comfy. I like these. It's like 90 fucking degrees in the garage right now, and you know, I'm just fucking struggling with the heat, but you know, it's all right. I'm gonna get the fan blowing in here, and let's just fucking get on her. Let's see here. Oh, there's fucking fuel all over this shit. Greasy. Now this thing should be fucking mostly empty. Famous last words. God, it's just fucking diesel fuel mixed with dirt. Fuck's sakes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sure, that looks right. What the fuck? I'm gonna mark the right hand side as it's facing this way. I don't know if it's return or what the fuck, but it's definitely something. God damn it. These fucking Milwaukee fucking paint markers are just fucked. Don't work worth a shit. That's because you're using them a fucking diesel fuel. Yeah. Fuck's sakes. Fuck. Holy shit, these things are tough. Alright. Oh, that's gonna drip fuel all over me. That's alright. At least the fucking fuel smells good. Fuck. Okay. Alright, so that's disengaged. Should probably get the fucking filler neck disconnected. Bring it in for a shit. Any part of my fucking hands that don't have diesel fuel on them. Man, fuck. Come on, Milwaukee, don't fail me now. Oh my god, everything's fucking rusty. Woo! Well, let's see here. That should come right the fuck off. Should. Trademark. Come on, fag. Get off of there. Alright, excellent. Get my hose pick. Come on, baby, be good to me. Oh, yeah. Come on, get off of there. Oh, yeah, rust all over. Ooh. I really hope I don't have to get a new fucking filler neck. That would be quite painful. Ooh. Fuck. Okay, well, at least that's free. Alright. So in the OBS, to get the fucking filler neck off this cunt, you get that off of there because this connects to the box. And you got 3 screws, one here, here, on that back side there. Everything's got fucking dust all over it. Fuck's sakes, but yeah. Alright, well, I think the only thing left to do at this point is get the strap off, get the front strap off. And again, I gotta put a fucking jack up under this pig. Fucking, oh. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I am gonna fucking get this done as quick as I possibly can. And I don't want to bring in for that torture, so bring it back in whenever I get her out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Well, that answers that fucking question. Where'd it come from, huh? Well, there's your answer. Fuck. That was an absolute fucking disaster. Holy shit. So we come around over to here. Where was it? Fuck, I think it was right here. Right? Yeah, the back strap of the tank, that's where it was fucking leaking from. Just absolutely pouring. Managed to catch most of it. Most of it. I don't think diesel fuel's supposed to fucking look like that. So, yeah, that's fucking good. When we go up under here, you notice that's completely soaked. And there's a whole heaping shit pile of fucking, you know, floor dry down there. So, I ended up spilling more than what I fucking initially had anticipated. Yeah, just look at that. Just fucking everywhere. But she's out. She's out. I'm just fucking covered, man. Oh, shit. Like my whole fucking arm. Can you see it? You see the dark shade of dark blue? Just fucking covered head to toe, man. Alright, so what do we got going on here? So we got the fuel lines. Holy shit. Come on. So we got our fuel lines from front tank and these guys here for the back tank. This guy kind of camouflages in with the frame because it's so fucking rusted out. That's brake. So one consolation at the very least is you see, so it's labeled for source and return, so that's good. I don't have to guess which is which because marked both of them with a paint marker. What for knowing which is which. Now I know which is which. Oh my god, I'm so fucking glad that's over with. That was a fucking nightmare. God damn it. So I'm gonna need to get, let's see, I'm probably gonna have to make new steel lines going from all the way back there to, looks like right there. And then I don't think I'm gonna fuck with these. And the ones going from the selector valve all the way up to the front, those are fine for now. But I'm gonna have to do those up. Oh Jesus, that was just brutal. So I'm just making a mental inventory here. I need new 1/4 inch rubber lines. I'm probably gonna need new line connectors, maybe. I might be able to reuse these, we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna need new rubber lines. Could probably reuse these, I don't know. Making new ones of these because these got pinholes in them. Other than that, everything else is pretty much just fuel tank related. So let me go over that real quick. Additionally, we also suffered another casualty. See this guy right here for fucking, this is responsible for actually putting fuel in your tank, and well, she kind of came loose. There's a fucking flange inside here where this is crimped on. See if I can buzz this off for you and get a look down inside there. So yeah, you're not going to be able to see this worth shit, but there's a flange deep inside there and it's clamped on. I don't know how the fuck Ford did that, but so I'm probably going to need new filler hat necks with the hose attached. I'm going to need new sending units, new pickup, screen, what else? Probably new breathers, because I don't think the gas or the fuel tanks, the new ones, come with those. I'm gonna need obviously both new fuel tanks. What else? Fuck, man, this is just a disaster. But I mean, this is the kind of shit you gotta fucking deal with when you're doing your own shit. And I think that's pretty much it for that. I'm gonna be able to reuse the rear filler neck, hopefully. Because yeah, this guy just got separated. Dang it. So new breather for that. That's where it's supposed to connect to the fucking frame. That busted off. That guy right there. So other than that, I don't know, man. All I know is fucking hot, miserable, covered head to toe in fucking dust and diesel fuel. Fucking just fuel everywhere. Oh, and I need new hardware for the skid plates. Gonna need new straps. I don't know if the straps come with rubber, so I'm probably gonna have to deal with that. The rubber isolators that keep it from digging into the tank. Get some fucking ceramic undercoating and some rust converter. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for sticking around and allowing me to fucking share with you my misery and my pain and suffering as it pertains to dealing with these old fucking trucks. I mean, yeah, people can blame it on Ford, but I've dealt with Chevy and Mopar, and I can tell you that old Ford, she's definitely easier to deal with, even though I got two fucking tanks to contend with. Oh, and to think all this started with a busted pickup screen. Fuck me. Anyway, I'm gonna head inside. I'm gonna shed these fucking things off of me. I'm gonna decontaminate myself, get a fucking shower or 2 or 3. And I'm gonna edit the fuck out of this video, and I'm gonna fucking do whatever I do after I do the video, and Shit, ass, and fuck. This is fucking painful. I don't want to fucking go through this ever again. If I ever had to do this again, I would fucking pull the bed off. Oh, that would have made that so much easier, but I don't got the fucking space to pull the bed off. Anywho, keep your dick wet and your shit pipe tight. There's going to be a part 2 of this video that's hopefully going to be a lot more comprehensive, but... Oh, and for those of you dickheads that are wondering what the fuck happened to the Brandon Herrera video, I don't know, man, like, I got priorities in life. I got fucking shit to do. I'm a busy man, and, you know, I don't have all the time in the day to sit there finger fucking my keyboard the whole time and doing all this shit. It was hard enough to do the Carl Casarda video as it was. But, you know, just sit tight, you know. I'm fucking busy, and that's just the fucking way she goes. And, other than that, I'm fucking burnt. I'm gonna clean up what I can in here, and I'm just gonna fucking hit the sack. I'm fucking done with this shit for now.